So I got to know, who is Nichole Friel?
That's a hard question to answer, but I think that my number one title would probably be wife and mother. And
With some beautiful kids, by the way.
they're pretty cute,
Yeah,
ain't
they
they?
are pretty good. And Jacob's not that bad either.
Yeah. He's a good man.
He's a good man.
He's a good man. We made some
I heard
pretty
those are
cute
hard. I heard those are hard to find. My wife's got one.
They're pretty hard to find, especially in today's economy. Everything's going.
Everything's going.
No.
So you're a wife and a mother.
Yes, we have Axel J and Atlas Creed.
Yeah, keep you busy. And their age, they're what, 5 under, 4 under?
Yeah, Axel will be 5 in October, and Atlas just turned 2 in February. Y'all, I was
starting pre-K, huh?
Yes, Axel starting pre-K. It's such a, I don't know how I feel about it. I literally broke down this morning thinking about it. Yeah. So this morning, we were praying in the bed, and
because faith is a huge part of your life.
it absolutely is number one thing.
You start your day off with prayer. You end your day with prayer, right?
And all throughout the day.
All throughout the day.
Because we're supposed to pray without ceasing. And I want to teach the boys that when you pray, you don't necessarily have to sit down and, get on your knees and put your hands together. That you can just talk to the Lord anytime you want to.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of that as an adult Christian. I mean, sometimes I only pray when I need something.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us are guilty of that. But
what's that song by Jelly Roll? Only talk to God.
Only talk to God when I need a favor. Yeah.
Yeah. And I tell Jacob all the time, like anytime the song comes on, I'm like, man, we can't listen to that.
Yeah.
He's like, why? It's like, because we're supposed to talk to God all the time, not just when we need a favor. But we do. It's such a lot of us are guilty of it.
Oh, yeah.
We do it. So.
Well, I think it's easy to get caught up in, the hustle and bustle of everyday life now. And, a lot of people, God's with us at all times.
He is.
Even though,
sometimes we don't feel it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I got you off track. So this morning you were praying.
We were praying, and he said, "Mama, where's your meeting?" And I was telling him where it was at, and I said, there's about to be a lot of big changes, and because he's going to school, and then if I go back to work, if I go in the way that I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where the Lord's lead me. I'm just looking at all opportunities.
Right. So what you've been at home with the kids
for 7? Well, I've been at home for 7 years.
Right.
January was 7 years that I started in multi-level marketing, but that's a whole.
We'll get it in a minute, maybe.
Yeah, we were praying, and it just hit me because I was talking to him, and he just was staring at me. You know how they look at you like you're just the best thing in the world.
And this is your 5-year-old?
Yes. And he said, "Where's your meeting?" And I was telling him, and I said, we're about to have a lot of changes happen. You're going to go to school. Mama's probably going to go to work. Bubby, which is what we'll call a wild thing. Not too crazy. I said, he's going to go with me. And I said, and we're all going to grow. And then in my mind, it was like, separate. I was like, no, that's such a lie. But I told him, I was like, Lord, give me the right words. And I said, as fast as lightning. And then I got to the bank. I dropped him off, but he was like, "Mama, you can just drop us off at Jacob's mama's." And I said, "There's going to come a day where I'm going to drop you off, and you're going to run into the building, and that day ain't today. Right. So I'm getting out with you." And then I was just giving him all the extra loves this morning, and I got to the bank, and Mama was there, and I just poured it all out in the drive-thru, and I was like, I can't believe this. Today's just a big day,
right?
And it's so crazy how some days it feels like we go from nothing. You just get in the routine of doing things. You wake up, you pray, you have your breakfast, and it ain't always in that order because sometimes we be forgetting to do things. Or you just get so busy, But it's just routine when you're a stay-at-home mom, even though it can be crazy sometimes because you never know what to expect when they're boys.
Yeah, we've got 4 boys. We can tell you, my wife's sitting over here off camera. We can tell you, we never know what to expect.
You don't. I mean,
I've walked in on one of them using the bathroom, sitting on the potty, and there's a pack of hot dogs between his legs on the floor, and I'm like,
why?
I had so many questions. He's like, well, I was hungry. I was gonna fix a hot dog, but then I had to go to the bathroom. I said, well, you didn't think to leave the hot dogs in the kitchen.
Yeah,
so, it
must just be that age thing or something, because Axel thinks that if you eat, like, if he's having, this is really TMI, but if he's having a hard time going to the bathroom,
Right.
he thinks that if he eats applesauce while he's on the toilet, that it'll help him go to the bathroom. I'm like, baby, supposed to do that ahead of time. Where you get
One of our kids threw a whole watermelon at his brother.
a hole?
No, whole watermelon.
Whole.
Picked it up, dropped it on him.
And threw it.
That was Eli.
No, it didn't just drop, just threw it.
Oh.
So back to the story. So you're at the bank with your mom, and you're
Yes.
boohooing this morning.
I was boohooing this morning, and it's just, I don't know, maybe just going through different seasons in life. And then I find it so hard to accept that I'm 27 years old the other day. I ain't even 27 yet. Let me take that back. I'll
Right.
be 27 next month. But I was like, I'm closer to 30 than I am anything else.
I find it really hard to believe that you're that old, because I remember when you were in high school, because we went to church together for a while,
Yeah.
and you were doing the puppets and doing the plays and the skits. So it's hard for me to believe that you're almost 30 and you got 2 kids.
It is hard for me to believe sometimes too. Sometimes you ever just walk through your house sometimes and it's the one time that it's quiet and you just kind of look around and you're like, how do we even get here? How do we even get
How
here?
do we get here?
And sometimes in the chaos you look around and you're like, how do we even get here? But I'm so thankful for it. Because I have been able to stay home for 7 years. It's not been easy.
Right. And in that time, you like, I follow you on Friel Life, and I'm probably butchering the
It's
name.
okay.
Friel.
Friel
Life.
Life.
I follow you on that page, and as a content creator myself, I'm very impressed with how big you've gotten that page. 15,000 followers for a girl from Wilcox County, Georgia.
Yeah, it's a platform that I do cherish.
Yeah.
And I want to take good care of it because I got it. You want me to tell you how I got it?
How'd you get it?
I got it off of drama.
Yeah.
You ever heard of people say, people love Real Housewives.
Drama sales.
It
Drama
does.
sales.
It does. I was in one multi-level marketing company. I was literally fresh out of high school. Had only worked in the real world.
Right.
I was a dental assistant for a year, and we were married, and I was miserable. I was doing something that I thought that I wanted to do.
Right.
But I still think that 18 years old is such an early age to tell someone you have to make a decision right now what you're going to do for the
What you're going to do for the rest of your life. It is. It is.
Especially when they don't know who they are.
No.
They don't, you don't
So
know.
we've got life backwards. We should be able to go and travel when we're 18 to 30 and then work to pay for it the rest of our lives.
Right.
And, instead of working until we're 60 and then too old to travel and do what we want to do. But
Yeah,
that's a
they have it
utopian
backwards.
world, I guess.
They have it backwards.
Right.
Um,
So you kind of got into the page through a little drama.
yes, I did. I had, I realized that the Lord allowed it.
Right. That's what we think sometimes too. See, a lot of people don't understand. We're monetized on Facebook, so when you see us posting stuff, the more reaction it gets, the better it is for
You're
us.
right. Drama does sell. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't want people to sit there and think too into certain
Yeah.
things because who has time for that?
Yeah.
Me, I have time for that when
So-
I'm up at 3:00 in the morning, I guess.
So a lot of my off the wall posts usually just come for just reaction.
I'll be
I mean,
cackling at you. I ain't gonna lie. I look sometimes. I'm like, what are they?
Just remember to hit the heart button.
I know.
Comments.
That really does help. People don't
It does,
understand how
people
much
don't
that
understand.
helps.
People don't understand. I know. That's one thing. I was like, I have so many people, and it's funny because since I've been doing the interviews like politically and the other interviews, I have so many people come up to me, and I know you do this too. They'll be like, I watched your video. It was amazing. I was like, you didn't hit like. You didn't
How do you know you
comment.
watched
Yeah,
it?
no. It's like I know everybody that liked that video.
There was only 8 of y'all.
Yeah, there was only 8 of y'all.
I got 900
had-
views, but there was only 8 of y'all on there.
I
It
had
was
20 people say that they liked the video. I said, but y'all, I ain't got 9 likes on it. So match that like, hit that, everything matters because it matters.
a giveaway right now.
Yeah.
And I have it to where, Facebook has certain standards that you have
Oh,
to
yeah,
go by.
you have
And
to.
it's a small giveaway. And then you have to be very careful with certain words. There's red flags or whatever.
yeah.
But still, I'm like, there are 15,000 of y'all on here. And I know y'all be seeing some of my stuff. And there's 13 comments.
Yeah. That's when we hit that at follow and people like, I don't like to see that at follow. Like, you can ignore that notification. You probably
I've not done that yet.
You should try.
You do that?
Oh yes, yeah, girl. We hit that. We don't do it a lot because I don't. Some people. Yeah, you're fine. We don't do it a lot because some people do get aggravated.
Yeah.
By it, but I'm like, hey, that's that
That is
throws
how
it
I
in your
see it.
notification. Yeah, that throws it in a notification. That helps us out. If you go, if you just go and click on it and just watch it. If it's not your thing, 3 minutes in. Not 3 minutes. That'd be begging too much.
3 minutes.
30 seconds in. If it's not your
That first
thing,
30 seconds.
just go on about your business. but like we've enjoyed it. I mean, we cut up a lot on there. We try to put a lot of funny stuff on there. I'm a cut up by personality. I mean, that's just my nature. I'm gonna find something to laugh about in any situation.
Well, y'all are very relatable.
My wife gets mad at me. She don't think I'm always funny.
It's because you have to live with him. We just get a little.
And we're getting a kickback from our toddler because he thinks everything. He's got a personality bigger than mine.
I watched that video y'all the other day like multiple times.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever he said.
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing.
He's singing songs like he moved Alexa into the living room just so he could call out songs yesterday. But anyway, we're sidetracking here.
I'm sorry.
So Friel Life, you got that page and it's up to 15,000 followers. You got it started through a little bit of drama.
For drama.
And then you were doing your makeup sessions on there too, right?
Yes. When I first started, I went like, y'all, it was crazy. I did not have proper guidance when I got into it. Leadership at that time was extremely hungry for the next level up. We know how multi-level marketing works.
Yeah.
I didn't at the time.
We've been trying to get somebody's trying to draft us into Plexus, and no offense against Plexus people, it's just not for me. I'm a people person, but I'm not fixing. I don't know. I just can't push a multi-level on somebody.
Yeah, it's hard. There's a lot of pros. There's a lot of cons to it. I think I have tried to reground myself because at first, like I was telling you earlier, I fell into hustle culture. I can't even say it. Hustle culture. I was really trying to push my girls underneath me who signed up under me and then under them too because I started to get a taste of what it was like. And people say, multi-level marketing is like a cult. And I don't can't say I agree with it, but I do see why people feel that way.
You can see it. You can see some aspects of it. So you fell into hustle culture, and that was, money. You've got a family, you've got a husband.
At that time.
At that time, you didn't.
I did not. At that time, I didn't. I think that I was preyed upon a little bit. I hate to be a victim because I think that's ridiculous.
Right.
But at that time, because I was young.
Right.
I was 19 years old. I was also very vulnerable.
But you also had a bigger than life personality that you've always had. I did, yeah. If anybody's I've always heard nothing but good things about you. Everybody's like, we talk about Nichole. First time she met you, my wife met you. She fell in love with you. Just a bigger than life personality.
I'm a hard one sometimes. Not really to get along with. I'm just weird.
But you're friendly. You have that welcoming personality about you. I feel like anyway. Others may not see it, but I've always seen it. I
did not. I've pretty much always been that way. High school was really hard. I'm sure it's hard for many people. But it was just I was ready to get up out of there. I never really felt like Jacob, I always was friends with Jacob, and Jacob's 4 years older than me, y'all, and we were friends, like, at an age where we weren't supposed to be friends. Right. But we knew each other through church, and, imagine that. We knew each other through church. The Lord brought us together. He did.
Me and Kelly knew each other through Facebook. That's how we met.
That's kind of where our conversation started, too. Yeah. So, I was ready to get up out of there. By the time I was a senior, Jacob had already been out. And I was just ready to get out of there. So, and we were talking about getting married. We were best friends. There was nothing going on. You had to convince everybody, we're just friends. He lived in Colorado.
Really? At the time?
Yes. And I was dating somebody else. And he lived in Colorado. He went from February to August. The guy broke up with me. He was cheating on me. He broke up with me. It was terrible. But it was, whatever. Because
every girl's got a cheating guy story though, right?
Yeah, don't we all? But hey, everything happens for a reason. But whenever Jacob they didn't just move to Colorado. There was like a whole bet that they would not move to Colorado.
Right.
We was at a party. All his friends were there, whatever. And I was like, oh, man, I'll never really get to be with Jacob because he's going to be gone forever. You know how just dramatic. I was like, maybe I shouldn't be dating this guy. If I feel that way. If I feel that way towards this guy. But he come back and he was just visiting because our nephew was being born. And born. Where am I from?
From South Georgia, Wilcox County.
Our nephew was going to be born in September, but he come back and it was my senior year, and we ended up dating, and we talked about getting married from the moment we started dating.
Really, from the very start.
Very beginning, yeah.
So you knew he was the one. He knew you were the one.
He knew I was the one. Years before that, when we were just on the phone one night, and he's like, "I'm gonna marry you, girl." I'm like, "No, will you please leave me alone?" But yeah, it's just we're very blessed through multi-level marketing. I swapped companies. I was in with one company for 2.5 years, and I had Axel.
Yeah.
And as a mother,
changes things, right?
I could
Big
not
changes.
see myself paying as much money as I was paying for, certain items. I was like, man, makeup's not even really a necessity. And it's still not a necessity, but it really has helped. It did help me because, like I've mentioned, having a child just does a lot of things to you, like you just said.
Right.
And makeup really did help me feel like somebody again after I had him.
Right.
So I changed companies, one that was more affordable, not only for me, but for
your clients.
Yes, because I have had 15,000 followers for probably 5 years.
Wow.
We've been stuck there.
Been stuck there.
Yes.
Well, it's time to grow again, I
It's
think.
time to grow.
Yeah.
Oh, funny you said that. I made one post on Facebook last week and lost 28 followers.
What? Was it because you posted something spiritual? Right.
Yep. But anyway, we have just been very blessed. At that time, we were living in a single wide, and there ain't nothing wrong with living in a single wide.
No, ain't nothing wrong with it. Hey, I was born and raised in a single wide.
Hey, it's
Born and raised in a single wide right over here.
Yeah. Hey. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey, have you seen some of the newer single wides? I'd go back to one.
Yes, I have, because we bought a double wide.
Right.
We were looking for land. You know how hard it is in Wilcox County to look for land and a home.
As the farmers don't want to come off of it.
No, they don't. And then now we have solar panels.
Yep.
And
are they going up near y'all?
They're supposed to. We heard 2 years ago. Because we had bought it. We bought it 4 years ago now. And we paid on it for a whole year before we moved out there. November will be 3 years. Because of multi-level marketing, we were able to save $25,000 in 6 months.
Really?
Yes. I put my whole paycheck up. And we lived off of Jacob's.
Yep.
And we decided to put down on land. We paid on that for a whole year. And then we got our trees cut. I like explaining these things.
Yeah, I've been following because I see the process of y'all clearing off the land.
And it's realistic. I feel like it's realistic growth. Now, I know that it ain't nothing but the hand of the Lord
getting it
definitely all together for us. But people, when you have to be careful when you're on social media, because a lot of people follow influencers that share things that are just completely unrealistic. And I was one of the ones who was vulnerable enough to follow.
Yeah. All right, so we took a little break there for a second. So the Friel Life page.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about it. You said you posted something on there the other day and you lost a few followers.
Yes.
And it was because it was spiritual?
Mm-hmm. Something that is probably one of the main divisions between certain denominations, Right. We really don't have a lot of Pentecostals. I think the church that I attend is the only...
Which is the Church of God.
It is the Church of God. It's Pitt's Church of God. I love my church.
And we love it too. We visited one time and we love it. I mean, I fell in love with y'all's new pastor, Mr. Aaron, Pastor Aaron.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a lot of character.
Great people.
Yeah, great people. And of course we know Jacob that runs the youth. I mean, I've known him forever.
Yeah.
So I mean, I felt at home when I walked in there. I mean, it was I felt at peace and I felt at home. That everybody made me feel welcome.
I'm glad. It makes me feel good that
Yeah.
you had a good experience when you walked in.
And I went to the men's breakfast. My first encounter there, I went to the men's breakfast, and
Yeah.
that was really good. Bacon was amazing.
Wonder who cooked that one.
Yeah. I think
Maybe
Michael.
Thomas.
I think Thomas was cooking too.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you made a post and lost a few followers on that big page
I lost 28 followers in one day.
in one day. Oh,
And-
but like I told you off camera, those aren't your people.
right.
The ones that are staying and listening to you are the ones that you need to be touching, and the ones that come to your page from now on.
I'm so thankful for them. I'm thankful for every interaction that I have with anybody that the Lord brings to the page or that the Lord takes away from the page. You know, some people just aren't ready for
Right.
certain things.
Right.
We're all on a different journey.
We all are.
And I have to respect that from other people as well. I think the thing about social media is, especially with me now, I used to share so much of my life.
Right. And we love seeing it. I mean, just to be honest with you, we love seeing it.
I do. I like seeing other creators too. That's what I was just telling you. Y'all are so relatable, and people love it when they can relate to you. It's just, it's all about building relationships and making those connections, and people can tell when you're genuine.
Yep.
But it's hard whenever I gave my life to the Lord to come back. I had to swallow a lot of pride,
Yeah.
and I had to turn around and say, you know, a lot of the things that I said before, I'm so sorry, but I do not agree with those things anymore. And,
Right. Well, that's growth. That's part of growth, you know?
hey, it was a public display of repentance.
Right.
It
Right.
was rough. It's rough sometimes. And I think too, like I was telling you, I overthink all those things. And
You're like me, and a lot of creative-minded people like yourself are the same way. I mean, we're our worst critics.
yeah.
And like I will watch a video 9 times after I edit it. I'll send it to Kelly. I'll be like, hey,
Does this look right?
be honest. What do you think about it? I'll send it to Lucas. Hey, Lucas, check this out. I mean, tell me some feedback. Tell me the truth. That's what I want to hear.
Sometimes the truth don't feel that good.
No, it don't. And even when they are truthful and say it looks good, I'm still like, there's something in there. I just
I think it's such a great thing that my husband doesn't have social media.
right. Oh, he doesn't have any social
He
media.
doesn't have any social media.
Oh wow.
He's never.
So you would have only lost. You could gain one more follower if he would get on social media, right?
Oh, babe, if you could just go on there and as soon as I make a post, go like it, go share it, go comment on it, and I tell
Yeah,
Mama
let's don't
Daddy.
forget like, share, follow, comment. Do the whole
That
nine yards.
helps so
That
much
helps
more.
so much.
Um,
Even if you don't like us, I'm just playing.
if you don't like us and you do all those things, we're just gonna show up on your page.
Hey, that's what I told somebody. I said we have a lot of haters that follow our page and go to our page, and I said they don't understand every time they watch the video it counts.
And the longer you watch it,
and the longer they watch it, the better. So
yeah, they're probably like, oh,
Hey.
why they keep showing up on the page? Well, honey, you're doing it to yourself.
you're doing it to yourself. Yeah. Yeah. You ever get those like, why is that person on somebody I should know? You know they've been to your page.
I know.
You know they've been to your page
So-
checking you out.
Have you ever had someone comment on your stuff and be like, why? They literally comment and say, why is this showing up on my page?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. What you looking at in your free time? And I'm popping up. The algorithm just brought you to me.
It brought you.
Brought us
So
here.
we're rambling. I think our AD&D is kicking in. So ADD. What did I say? AD&D.
The AD&D.
AD&D. Like that's an ointment, ain't it, for the baby? No, A&D.
A&D.
Sorry.
We're terrible.
All right, so let's get back on track.
Terrible.
Let's get back on track. So for Friel Life, I would love to see more people, especially from this area, watching those podcasts, to go check your page out. I mean,
I am thankful for the opportunity to come on this podcast. The number one thing that I told you is that I wanted to talk about the Lord, but I didn't
Right.
want to be suffocating.
no, you're not.
It's kind of hard to hide.
My skin might start boiling if you talk too much. I just
Oh
play.
my gosh. Mine too. That's why I'm sweating like I am. Just kidding.
That's because we had to turn the air off so it wouldn't interrupt.
It's the
But no,
air.
I mean, but that's your avenue. I mean, that's who you are, Nichole. I mean, that's, you've given your life to the Lord, and you've given your page to the Lord. I mean, we could look at it like that.
He told me
Yeah.
at a women's conference that I went to in 2019. So it was 2020. I had Axel in October, and then that was in February. And I was not surrendered. I just went because I had a baby at home and I had not gotten out, and I knew I needed Jesus.
Right.
And I went to a conference, and there were so many confirmations of the Lord telling me that I was supposed to use my platform to glorify Him.
Yeah.
And at that time, The enemy tried me so hard. I ran so far the other way.
Oh, yeah.
So far. And that's when I got into manifestation and meditation and things of the universe. And I go back and I look at some of my posts now, and it literally grieves the Holy Spirit in me to see some of those things, because it's so sad that so many people still are in those things, and they're not right according to the word.
Well, like in the words of the great Uncle Ben Parker from Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility.
It does.
So you have this huge platform, and I would love to see you take it back up and start running with it. And I think if you could use it to glorify God, then that's what you were called to do.
With that power, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to answer for everything,
yeah.
But I have to give myself grace for the things that I do know, and then if I say something wrong, I have to be able to be humble enough to say I got it wrong.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
And I've had people already be like, "Oh, she's false." If the Lord tells you that, then you go right with it, honey. But I know
if that's the worst thing somebody can say about you, you're good.
I know. Well, are we wrapping it up?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, I do. Right. I really do appreciate this opportunity to come on here.
Well, I've been trying to get you on here. I've been kind of like throwing it out there. Hey, you'd really be great. Why don't you come on? And I would love. Now I'll tell you what I would love to see.
Okay.
I would love to see you pick up the reins on a podcast. I think that you would do great with one. Of course, everybody's got a podcast now.
Yes, that's another thing that's kind of kept me, because I'm like, would people really listen?
People are always looking for the next thing. I mean, people are always looking for something new and something interesting. The right people will hear you. Mm-hmm. The right people will follow you.
I know that.
And the right people will benefit from what you have to say.
Hey, as long as I say whatever the Lord tells me to say, and I don't say
you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Yeah, you can't go wrong.
I shared something the other day that was like, it was somebody else's reel, and she was getting her pocketbook, and she was going and getting in her car, and it said, how I feel when my flesh about to act crazy. In the conversation, I was like, I just be turning my phone off and letting it
But I get it. I truly get it. I mean,
it's because people think that they know you. Mm-hmm. Y'all know how it is. People think that they know you from a couple posts on social media. And I'm like, baby, you don't know the things that we do daily. You don't know. And if you look at it from a spiritual matter, you don't know the warfare that I'm going through right now. No. You don't know. Like, that's what I was telling myself the other day. I was looking at my posts just from a year ago, and I would have these long, lengthy posts about, I was sharing things on my journey. And I never do it for the attention of me just wanting attention. I do it because I want people to feel like they're not alone in their journey with the Lord and in their walk with the Lord. And I share things that probably makes people uncomfortable because they don't want to talk about it.
Right.
But the devil is a liar when he tells us that we're alone in certain situations, and nobody wants to be isolated, but sometimes I think this is the thing that I'm probably going to go through in this next season, is talking about how the Lord separates people as opposed to the enemy's isolation, and learning the difference between separation for him and his glory.
Right.
And then, the enemy trying to separate you from the body of Christ to keep you, just feeling like you're alone.
Right.
So.
Well, I know that for one thing, I'm a follower of the page, and I'm not leaving. So the more you post on there, the more I'd love to see. And I really hope that maybe this little conversation sparks a little bit in you, and maybe we see a little bit more from you on that page.
I'm excited, and I'm thankful for everybody who comes. I'm thankful for you and Kelly.
No,
I'm thankful for y'all so much.
We just love. I just love this. I mean, this is an outlet for me. This is, most people golf, most people fish, hunt, and I like to fish and hunt when I can. But this is a little outlet for me.
Well, you're good at what you do.
I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed you coming in. I mean, I've known you for a long time, but to sit down and talk with you one-on-one is truly a blessing.
I forget how long you've known me, and like you reminded me when the boys were playing t-ball.
Yeah.
You reminded me that you were out there. You were the umpire, right? When I was playing softball, or were you a coach?
No. I was a coach out there. I coached a 12U team. That was been
Years ago.
9 years ago. Yeah, or something like longer than that.
Longer than that.
No, yeah.
Yeah, because I
10 years ago. Over 10 years. 11 years ago.
have
Yeah.
been graduated. Next year will be for 10
Well, I'm not going
years.
to tell you how old I am because I went to school with your mom and dad. I mean,
Yeah,
if
I
we really,
forget that.
if we really want to get into it, I mean, not trying to date myself here, but
He old, y'all.
my wife
No, I'm
knows.
just kidding.
My wife knows I'm old. I did get this. What was it? Lady at the wedding the other day said I was 30. Thought I was 37.
I'm like, huh?
I was like,
off, baby.
I was like, I may give you a refund on this.
Appreciate
one.
that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. She's like, I thought you were like 37. I was like, yeah, I wish. I'm not gonna say how old I am.
You don't have to.
I'll tell y'all in the comments.
Yeah.
Everybody who knows me knows how old I am.
He's gonna edit that out.
But I can't thank you enough for coming in. I mean, I've known, like I said, we've known each other for a long time. You know,
Yeah. Thank y'all for having me.
We've been in the same church together before.
That was wild, too.
Yeah, that was a while. It's a wild time. But I can't thank you enough for coming in, sitting down, and talking with us today, and can't wait to get this edited and thrown out there.
I'm excited to see it too.
Yep.
So I thank you for having me again. And
Anything you'd like to say in closing? So I started off with asking the question is, who is Nichole Friel? And I probably murdered that name again, didn't I?
no, you said it perfectly.
Said it perfectly that time.
I'm praying that I answered it enough
Yeah.
to where people just,
So I think what we gathered was a woman of God, a wife, a mother.
still just trying to figure out this thing called life.
Well, we wish you nothing but the best, girl, and everything that comes and everything that follows. We wish you nothing but the best.
Same with y'all too.
And
I think.
and as you keep going, you got to come back and see me again, right? Even
We'll
if
do
you
this again.
even if you start your own podcast, you got to let me come on.
I told you. Oh, you'll probably be one of my first guests.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.